administration, and special guests. I want to take this opportunity to retrace our steps to this moment. Just yesterday, on our first day of high school, we had to really figure out what classes we had, what rooms we were in, who our teachers were, and most importantly, what classes we had with our friends. We walked through the hallways, fearing that a grade 12 would stuff us into a locker. The journey to now has long, but we've managed. For some of our graduates, our first steps started in grade 7, while others, like myself, arrived in grade 9. Whether we've been here for 6 years or fewer, we've not only grown in size, well, except for some of you, but we've grown in character. On our way, we discovered our ability to work independently and our ability to collaborate with others. And although we have lost some friendships, we've always made new ones. We discovered who had our back and who didn't, who we could trust and who we couldn't. And we've also learned to let go of our past and set sights on our destination. Now seriously, if anyone has any drama, can you guys just hug it out right now, please? Just hug it out. On our journey, we've also learned to manage our time. We've had to juggle jobs, juggle our schoolwork, and our extracurriculars, and we still managed to have a social life. Some of the more irrelevant life lessons we've learned that we can pass on to our upcoming grads is to always befriend people who have cars or else you're walking home in the snow. Also, we've learned to check the date of our food so we don't accidentally eat a box of expired fudgesicles. However, journeys are never made alone. Along the way, there were always people to pick us up and help us along. At the top of my list, I'd like to thank God for giving us the gifts of life and free will and His grace to get through every day. Second on my list, I'd like to thank Larry Page, Sergey Brin, Jimmy Wales, and Larry Sanger. For all of you who aren't familiar with these names, these are the creators of Google and Wikipedia. Also, thank you to Father Steve for celebrating Mass and showing us God's teachings. At this point in our journey, we become more aware of the cultural and religious diversity at MT. We all live by the universal rule that all life is cherished, and that right decisions benefit not only us, but all those around us. To the people who sometimes had to carry us on our journey, on behalf of all the graduates, we owe a huge thank you to our parents and guardians. We love you for making our lunches every morning, picking us up and dropping us off at school, and even helping us with our homework. Even though we sometimes argue with you and drive you crazy, the love you have given to us means so much that we can't thank you enough. And also to our grandparents, because when Mom and Dad said no, you said yes. To our principals and vice principals, thank you for reminding us daily to take our hats off and to stop playing football in the atrium. But seriously, thank you for making sure we stayed on the right path. To our guidance counselors, you listened to our problems and you did everything possible to help us graduate. Without you, some of us may not have crossed the stage today. To the custodians who kept this school neat and tidy, we are very sorry for all the pyramids of trash that we left on the tables. We are very sorry. To the support staff for always being there for us, we thank you. Also, thank you to our teachers who have taught us valuable information. Some we may not have as much use later on in the journey, such as trig identities. But some we might use in the near future, such as how to balance a debit and credit account. Whether it was explaining lessons over and over again because we lacked focus, or because we just didn't understand, you demanded excellence from us whether or not we wanted to give it. Also, thank you to all the teachers who were flexible and understanding, sometimes even on test days, because they understood that we had many things going on in our lives. You did all you could to prepare us for university or college, and for this we thank you. Reflecting on our journey, there were memorable events, such as hitting people with water balloons, all the study Skype dates, the Sunday night procrastination, and playing the card game President in the Atrium. We had our first homecoming dance and our last senior prom. We had creative promposals that had every guy thinking outside the box for once. Our clubs and sports allowed us to work with others. By the way, shout out to this year's lacrosse and volleyball team who almost went the distance but just fell short. We snapped. As we reach the end of this portion of life's journey, we find ourselves at a fork in the road. When we wake up tomorrow, we aren't waking up to go to Mother Teresa High School anymore. We aren't waking up to write tests and CPTs. We will no longer see the art, our plaques, the big gyms with our banners, our cafeteria, and our wide open atrium. When we wake up the next morning, we won't hear the morning music, or the morning announcements, the morning prayer, or the Caribbean or Canada. When we wake up tomorrow morning, we'll be waking up in reality. There will be no familiar routines. We are in charge of our own lives. But what we leave behind might only be a picture on a brick wall, but it's this school, and these people and these memories that we will cherish forever. Last week, when we were signing yearbooks, it finally sunk in that we were leaving. For the past 3 years, I always wrote, "See you next year." When I was signing yearbooks last week, I couldn't write that anymore. Grads, look around you. You've shared memories with these people. You've had an impact on each other in one way or another. At the fork in the road, no matter which path we choose, we will always remember the Titans. One of my favorite quotes from all time is from Walt Disney. All of our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. If you want to be the Prime Minister, go. Be a Prime Minister. Doctor? Go be a doctor. Sports star? Do it, I dare you. If you want to be a singer, well, like 3 of you. Just about 3 of you can do that. As we finish this race, another marathon begins. We will be faced with obstacles that will stop us and try to bring us down. My advice, run through them. Run to your dreams, and once you're there, run to shawarma to get a chicken sandwich. Now, ladies and gentlemen, parents, teachers, staff, I present to you the Mother Teresa graduating class of 2013.